The following is a special Country Grocer presentation.
Hi, I'm John Taylor. This is Ramble on. I want to welcome you aboard. We're about to leave to welcome our friends from Orcas Island for the Hands Across the Water event. Come on aboard.
From Orcas Island to Salt Spring shores, hands across the water.
Yeah, so we're just here on the water with the Hands Across the Water celebration and greeting. So far, we've had about 21 boats and 100 people come up from Orcas Island and some of the surrounding San Juan Islands. And the joy and the feeling of community is just overflowing, especially at times where we think about, we get a little bit of our blood up about what's happening in politics, and there hasn't been a whisper of politics. There's just been some great talking, some great community. I've been hugged so many times. It's just going fantastic.
Then we thought it was such a great idea, obviously, to connect with our neighbors and share the love. I mean, I think right now in the world things are kind of challenging, and I think the opportunity to be good hosts, but also good friends and neighborly is important, particularly right now. So it felt like a good thing to do.
It's a great out showing of support, and that's just going to continue to bubble into this evening's festivities in Centennial Park.
From Orcas Island to Salt Spring shores, hands across the water. We are all islanders, hands across the sailor's sea.
It is so glorious coming over here where Customs and Border Patrol are just, you call in, you're like, hey,
what name is your number?
what's under June?
Martin Boyd. Okay.
And Customs and Border Patrol are like, welcome to Canada. It's so great to have you here. Every time we cross, it's so wonderful.
Three gentlemen that got together one night soon after the election, and they were talking about kind of what was in store for our country, in U.S. at the time. And they had some fears, and they were expressing some of their concerns. And then after the last couple of months, after we started hearing some pretty horrible things towards our friends to the north from our president, they said they'd like to try to do something to show people in Canada that we don't all feel that way, that we are people that respect them and are kind and loving, and that it's so important to us to be part of this this community where we're only separated by the sea.
Love to sing it on this child.
It's a little commemorative, maybe inspired, an inspired token for our beautiful event here this weekend.
These were two different strands coming together, two different communities coming together and uniting and holding hands and showing our connection. And we live Salt Spring, Orcas Island, U.S., Canada, and there's a random line that divides our two islands. And historically, we've been deeply connected, and we want to show our togetherness in our community.
Isn't it supposed to be one of the stronger knots?
It is very strong.
Yeah, so it's very strong.
Yeah, and it can connect two strands and hold them together.
From Orcas Island to Salt Spring shores, hands across the water. We are all islanders, hands across the sailor's sea.
I think there's 25 cars here of all different makes and models. I think they range from 1917 to 2025. We have a 2025 electric Alfa Romeo There's a Model T over here, a 1917, and we're trying to figure out if the owner is older than the car or vice versa. It's great to be associated with this and part of this community event that celebrates the friendship between the two countries.
Hands across the water, we are all islanders, and hands across the sailor's sea.
They're supposed to do stock assessments, and on the U.S. side of things, every year, every 2 years. There wasn't one for like 15 because they're like, well, we don't care about the porpoises, that's fine. Until they started coming back, and they're like, oh, maybe we should.
And work with Indigenous nations too to be able to put that out there and say, like, we need to protect what's right for us.
We're making science-based decisions. Know that if they say that, they are lying. Because
we had an hour each talking about housing, environment, Indigenous relations, and they were very insightful. The housing discussion, because housing is our biggest issue here on Salt Spring, affordable housing, clearly showed that there was a lot we could learn from the folks at Orcas.
I moderated both the housing panel and the Indigenous relationships panel, and those were two great examples of how we can learn from one another. On the housing side, they have Open Land Trust, and Community Land Trust is absolutely fantastic. They're adding their 220th unit of affordable housing for rental and ownership. But on the Indigenous side, the conversations that we have here don't really happen in America, or very little. And I think a lot of people were really touched by how much it came up.
Some Orcas Islanders and a couple locals on a great bike ride to my favorite farm stand at North End Farm.
Pretty straightforward stuff. Should not be much by way of surprise. Okay, like breaking as per usual.
Well, I want to understand more about their Tour de Lopez festival, which is fabulous. It's an all weekend long cycling festival where hundreds and hundreds of people come to Lopez Island. And I want to learn more about how they're doing on pathways on Orcas Island. They have the same thing going on there, race car drivers and no shoulders. So I want to see what they've learned and how they deal with it.
You actually have to stop, or you can go backwards a little bit if that's helpful.
All right, everyone, are you ready?
Let's ride.
Yeah.
Ooh, the burn.
Event is going fantastic. We're making lots of new Canadian friends, and today it's going to be a fun time sailing. We've got a full boat, which is unique for Ripple. Normally we sail it double-handed, so there's going to be lots of conversations, and we're going to have a ripping good time.
From Orcas Island to Salt Spring shores, hands across the water, we are all islanders, and hands across the sailor's sea.
I ain't got no money, I ain't got no home, and I'm on my own. Hey, I've been all around the world, singing just like my girl. But I never met somebody like you before.
Feeding the sailors.
Salt Spring Island Lions Club, which is a service club. It's all run by volunteers. The money we raise, it all 100% goes back into the community. Today, this is for the Chamber's event, Hands Across the Water. We're cooking pancake breakfast with sausages and so forth. We had 100 down pat, right? But it's jumped. So we're going to do the best we can and just serve as many breakfasts as we can.
Lions pancake breakfast. I am so looking forward to eating it and enjoying the day. They're hanging out with these wonderful people that came over for Hands Across the Water.
We had a fabulous time. People were very accommodating, unbelievable preparation, and the weather has really been nice. What could be less fun than coming over and enjoying time with our close neighbors?
I think it just went so wonderfully. The turnout was above and beyond expectation. We kind of like pulled this out of thin air with no framework and nothing to go by, and it was so well attended and it was so well organized, and I just felt such a sense of pride and community.
It's been a great weekend, and this is what we need right now, is to be able to show regionally that we're together and we're friends and we have a lot of the same needs and just life is the same challenges, and we can all work together.
I thought it went excellent, just excellent. This whole thing started. Ross and I at a dinner table complaining about Trump, and we said we ought to do something. And
Hands Across the Water, it was really interesting. It started, Ross first approached me actually at a political event on Orcas and said, "Hey, what do you think?" And it was, I didn't know where it was going to go. And even as short as a couple months ago when I was talking about it with our county council, they said, "Well, what is this event?" And I said, "I don't know, but I know there's a lot of really good people involved."
And we were trying to think, what can we do that might be positive towards Canadians, because so much junk was coming out of the White House. And we said, well, we live on this island. We live on these two island groups. They're really all the same archipelago. And why not?
One of the most amazing experiences for me as an organizer of the event is having all these people come up to me and tell me stories about the conversations that they've had with people who are sort of like their counterparts doing similar work on the two different islands. And while a lot of this was about having fun and showing friendship, we wanted to also create solid, tangible relationships so that when local government officials have questions or concerns, whether it's an environmental issue like an oil spill or looking for ideas around affordable housing, that they know who to call.
You know, at the end of the day, we had a great group of organizers, both sides of the border, and we worked together and it all worked out. And I think we had, I had a lot of great comments from folks, again, from both sides of the border, and how the Americans felt so welcome. And thank you to the Canadians for making them feel welcome. And because, we are one group of people on a sailor's seat.
But it just couldn't have been better. The boat ride and the weather and the people that we're meeting and the discussions that we're having.
The more people are starting to talk about what we have in common rather than what divides us, I think we're going to be making progress, and I certainly intend to continue communications with our opposite numbers in San Juan County.
And the amount of work that was done on both sides of the border, volunteers, nonprofit groups, once the ball got rolling and everyone got involved. And I only saw the tip of the iceberg of what was done, but the results are clear to see, like for all 3 days, well attended, enthusiastic. It was quite a remarkable event.
I think we planted seeds for the future this weekend, not just in terms of friendships, and I know many of those were created, but in terms of us being able to work together and learn from each other, hopefully come up with solutions to our common problems. I think there is, I feel quite a bit closer to Orcas after this weekend, and I think many people do.
I think a lot of the connections that were made are, sort of beneath the surface. Our community foundation's connected. The church is connected. And there were a lot of side conversations. A lot of what Pam and I do is just introduce strangers to one another so they can become friends. And this weekend was all about that. A couple of hundred people getting together and forming relationships.
Yeah. So it's an example of, people say, what can I do? But what can a single person do? But two single people and Natalie from the Yacht Club proved you can do it.
So for me, that's the most meaningful part of the event, is that that was the dream, and I'm seeing the connection.
From Orcas Island to Salt Spring shores, hands across the water.